So let's get this thing rolling. Hey, everybody, welcome to the call. My name is Dale Franklin. I'm an affiliate with My Daily Choice. I know many of you, but there are some new people on this call, which is very common because the company is growing so quickly. So again, welcome. And this is this is a call we do every Monday. We just changed the time. It used to be 1 hour later, but we're trying not to overlap with some of the other teams. So from going forward, this will be the time that we start every Monday. This is a call that is primarily for Africans and people from the U.S. who are affiliated with the Africans, but anybody's invited to come. It's designed, the format I try to create here, I'm trying to create camaraderie. I'm trying to create a family unit, which is, to me, the best way to build this business. And so this is a place for us all to come together. Each week, I try to invite somebody new to some new leader, somebody from corporate, one of my uplines, somebody who can bring value to the meeting. No pressure, Chris. And I want people to know. I want you to know your leaders. Know people throughout the world that are tied to you, so that we become a very strong family. Because I'm a big time family man. I believe family is what brings people together. And what I loved about the fact that when I went to Africa the first time and learned over my 7 trips there is that Africans take family very, very seriously. And so we have been able to connect on that level. And I love the fact that many African, where I've talked to them, when we talk about family in the United States, we talk about blood kin, our direct relatives. And when I talk to many people from Africa, when they talk about family, they're talking about their village, not just their blood relatives, but their whole community. And I think that's fantastic. And that's what's great about this business is we have an opportunity through this business to help our community, to help our extended family while we're helping ourselves. And I think that is a tremendous asset that our company brings. So, first of all, first thing I usually talk about is I want to just talk about new markets. Just keep everybody up to date in your area. I want to congratulate Tanzania. Last Saturday, they had their soft launch. Okay, and let me explain real quickly how we do this. Yes, fantastic job, everybody. This is, we have is a soft launch, and then we go to a pre-launch, and then we go to a full launch in each country, and it just keeps the business just keeps growing. So when we finally get the full launch, I mean, we are really kicking it in each country we're in. This last Saturday, Tanzania had their pre-launch, and there was, I believe, 198 people is the number I heard, but we'll call it 200. There was 200 people at that meeting, and that is fantastic. I mean, that's a great turnout for a pre-launch, okay? And, this was coupled on top of what happened the previous Saturday in Kampala, Uganda, when we also had a pre-launch and had 200 people show up. And so, I mean, we're really kicking into the gear here right from the beginning, because people see the value of what we're doing. They see the value of our company. They see the value of our products, and they understand how they can make money almost immediately. So this has value from so many levels. It's unbelievable. And of course, I just talked about Tanzania. I talked about Uganda. We're getting ready. Won't be too long. We'll be doing a soft launch in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, just around the corner. We already have teams there that are starting to grow, and we have an office in Kinshasa. So again, we are growing throughout Africa. We're already in for those who are new here, we're already in Nigeria, we're already in Ghana, South Africa, Kenya, and the countries that I just spoke of. So it is growing very, very quickly, and you should be excited to be part of this. The next thing I'd like to talk about is promotions. Okay, both people that have been on here for a while and people that are brand new, don't forget the promotions we got going on right now. The promotions for this month are the best I've ever seen. We have basically 3 things going on right now. We have the November 10X match. which basically says if you create 1,000 business volume in new business, okay, that you're going to not only get your normal commissions on that, but you're also getting an extra $100. Okay, so if you're at the executive level and you bring in 1,000 new business volume, you're going to make $500 on the commission, and then you're going to make an extra $100. You can make you create $1,000 of business, and you're going to make 600 of it. I mean, where else can that happen? So again, that's a phenomenal promotion we have. And then on top of that, we have the November rank incentives bonus, which is celebrating our 6th anniversary as a company. And this is a one-time bonus. If you reach 5,000 volume this month, you're going to get a $500 bonus. 10,000 in volume, you get a $1,000 bonus. In 25,000 volume, you're going to get a $2,500 bonus. Now, this, for people who've been in this for a while, that part of our comp plan is if you make these ranks and hold them for 3 months, you get a similar bonus at the end of those 3 months. That doesn't affect this. This is on top of that. So you theoretically could get it done this month, make your 500, make your 1,000, make your 2,500, whatever rank you reach, and then do it again next month, and then do it again the following month, and get it again. I mean, talk about great. So this is incredible money that is just being laid out there for everybody to grab. So so we have that promotion, and then on top of that, over the next 3 months, we have our Las Vegas leadership retreat. Okay, so anybody who hits 25K affiliate for 2 out of the next 3 months, and also qualifies for the profit sharing pool, which just means you're going to have you're going to sign 4 affiliates, 4 customers, or a combination thereof in each month. That's all you have to do, and you will qualify for a retreat to Las Vegas, Nevada, United States. And the company, for the people here in Africa, you're going to get $1,000 towards your airfare, and then once you get there, the company's going to pay for your room, going to pay for all your meals, going to pay for transportation, going to pay for everything else. So again, this is an incredible opportunity to get to go to Las Vegas, see our company, see our brand new office that we're getting ready to move into, and also be able to hear about the next business that we're about to open. So we are a house of brands. We already have 5 companies, and there's another one coming. So we'll be whoever's there, and I'll be there to see you. You'll be able to see what our next thing is, our next great thing, because we always have great stuff when we do these. So that's the promotion. The next things, I'd just like to make a couple of quick acknowledgments, especially since I see the few people I was going to acknowledge on here. This is a company that's like I said, growing all throughout East Africa and throughout other parts of Africa too. And we have a lot of those people on this team. I don't see her on there right now, but I just want to mention Beatrice from Tanzania. She's a 25K affiliate. Now, the thing that's interesting about her is she was a diamond in another company. I won't tell you where, but she was a diamond in another company, which is very high rank. And she saw what we had to offer, and she saw the value of what we're doing, and she gave up a lucrative position in another company with a very high rank to start all over again in our company because she could see we were the future of network marketing in Africa. Okay, so again, I mean, think about the power of that. I mean, she actually gave up a good income to start over again because she knew this was going to be a better future for her. So I think that says a lot about our company. On top of that, we have Alice is here. Alice is from Uganda. Now, I'm going to be careful not to put words in her mouth. She stated in another meeting that, and we don't talk about income levels very much, and I'm not talking about dollars. I'm just talking about what she said. She said she made more in 6 months through this company than she could make in 86 months at her regular job. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? That's incredible. And so she's an avid believer in this company, and I'm sure she's going to be super successful going down the road. Another one I want to mention is Elizabeth from Kenya. You notice we have leaders in all these countries. Elizabeth, I believe, I was there when it happened. I believe Elizabeth was the very first 5K in East Africa. I remember the day. I remember the day we were doing the calculations, and we added it up, and she had 5K, and we went out and told her. I remember how excited she was. She was bouncing all over the place, and and again, she's well on her way to. I believe she's going to be a 25K affiliate this month. She's doing a great job. She's built a very strong team. Another person I just want to mention, because I want to let you see how diverse this is. We also have Charity from the DRC, which I don't see on here today, but she's been very, very busy. She's building a strong team in the DRC. First, when I met her the first time, she'd come across the border. So I show how brave she was. She came across the border with almost $20,000 US in her pocket to be able to get product and get it back to the DRC. So I mean, she was a true trailblazer, and she's building a strong team now. I do want to acknowledge, just because he's here, I want to acknowledge the fact that Cyrus Matthew is on the call. Cyrus is, him and I met back in December. We just kind of clicked. I mean, him and I, we're kind of brothers from different mothers type of thing. I think we've really had some fun together. He is the regional manager of all of East Africa, and he does a phenomenal job. Having him in our corner is one of the best things we could have. So those are the acknowledgments in the introductions I wanted to bring up. The next thing I'd like to do is I'd like to introduce our guest today. Now, our guest name is Chris Robinson. He's the first affiliate that this company ever had. Okay, think about that. He was number one. He's a rancher. In fact, his title that was given to him by some of the people in this company is the Cannabis Cowboy, because of some of the products we sell, and his background as a rancher. He's owned a trucking company. He owns a construction company. I mean, this man is diverse. He's a strategic thinker. I think he's one of the bravest guys that I know, and he's a doer. You know, there's a lot of people that think about things but don't do them. And there's a lot of people that try to do things but they don't think beforehand, so they kind of fail that way. He thinks it, he strategizes it, and he does it. And I have great respect for him. I've known him for the last 10 years. I consider him a true friend and a business mentor. I reach out to him quite often to get his opinion on things. So without further ado, Chris, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me, Dale?
Yes, I can. Welcome to the call.
It's great to be here, man. It's always great to work with guys like you as well.
What we do here, and I do it a little different each week, but what I want to do, I want people to know you, okay? And so I'd like you to take us through. I'm gonna bring you along as far as through your life. This is your life, Chris Robinson, okay? And
here we go.
Here we go. I'd like the first part of your life. I'd like you to take us from high school to just before you became a network marketer in your first company. Tell us a little bit about that time in your life.
So high school was very short for me. I didn't even graduate. I dropped out when I was 15 years old, and I always had that I actually dropped out to go to work. Because I couldn't, I'm not saying school's not important, but it just wasn't for me. And I'll never forget the day I was sitting there. Two of my daughters right now are in college. I promote school, but I believe there's a better way. And I'll never forget the day I dropped out. I left school forever. On my last day of school, I was in the counselor's office, and Mr. Rich, still a friend of mine. I still have communications with this guy 20 years later. No, 24 years later. I'm getting old. And we're sitting in his office, and he looked at me and he said, "Chris, if you walk out those school doors, you're never going to get a good job." And I looked him right in the face and I said, "Who the hell told you I want to have a job? I'm not looking for a job. I'm looking for freedom." And I walked out. And that was the day that it started for me. Now, I went out. My dad actually had a company that he was a fencing contractor doing decorative fencing. I left that, and when I was 15 years old, I was a foreman on a crew. I couldn't even drive to work yet, because in the United States, you got to be 16 years old to have a driver's license. And I was running 40-year-old man, 25-year-old man, family guys, and I was 15 years old, and I was their boss. And so I learned how to lead at a very young age because my dad put me in that position. And I worked for my dad for about 6 or 7 months. I lived with him, of course. I was 15 years old, going 16 years old. And I'll never forget this. And I don't think I've ever shared this story before with anybody in NBC. I'm going to share it with you guys today because you brought up high school on. I worked for my dad for like 6 months, literally 50, 60 hours a week. I was working 10-hour days, 6 days a week. He didn't let us work Sundays. And after like 6 months, I asked my dad, hey, when's payday? I've been working for 6 months and never got paid. And I'm like, man, my old man's tight. He don't want to pay me. So I brought it up. It took me like 3 weeks to get enough nerve to ask him, like, hey, Dad, when am I going to get paid? And he said, oh, you want paid? Well, payday's on Friday. Just turn in your hours. I'm like, oh, that was easy. So I worked for a week. I turned in my hours. My earnings for that week was like $400. And I'd worked hard and I'd got a lot of jobs done. And he come out and he handed me cash, $400 in cash. And he says, hold that money up. And I was holding it up. He says, I'm proud of you. You earned that money. He says, do you feel like a man? I said, yeah, I feel like a man. He says, well, let me explain something to you. Men have bills. And he reached down and he took a $100 bill. He says, that's for living in my house. Took another $100 bill away from me. He says, food's not free around here. You're going to pay for your own food. By the time we got through power, toothpaste, deodorant, everything, I had about $20 left sitting in my hand. And I'm like, well, $20 is more than I got paid before, so I'm happy with this. And he says, nope. And he took the $20 and he says, your mother is not your maid. This is for her for cleaning up after you. And I had no money left. And that right there was the biggest eye opener that my dad ever could have given me. Because I realized that day, working for somebody else, I'm never going to get where I want to be. So at 18 years old, I found out I wasn't going to be a father to one daughter, but I found I was going to be a father to two. And no, they're not twins. My oldest daughters are 64 days apart. I was fortunate enough to, I went on a little rampage. I partied a little bit, did some crazy things. I ended up getting two daughters that were 64 days apart with two different women. So that's when I had to wake up. That's when I went and got the job that I was trying to avoid. I had to pay bills. I had to buy diapers. I had to buy formula. And I got a job, and within 2 months of being that job, they promoted me to supervisor. I was making like $9 an hour. They promoted me to $10.50, $11 an hour. And I was at work. I was running the crew, and I'll never forget, this was another big impression in my life that's always stuck with me. And I remember the sounds. I remember everything from this day, even though it was a long time ago. It was about 8:30 at night. It was my daughter's second birthday. And my wife called me from her mother's house and said, hey, we're getting ready to sing happy birthday to JC, so we're going to put you on speakerphone. I'm like, okay. And they started singing. And I said, honey, hold on a minute. Stop singing. I said, let me call you back in a minute. And I hung up the phone and I walked over to the time clock and I put my time card in it. And before I hit it, I said, I'll never, ever miss another birthday again. And I quit that job and I punched out. 19 years old at this time. Punched out. Never went back to work ever again. I've never hit a time clock since because I made that goal that night. Never missed another birthday. I've been able to attend everything I wanted to attend. But I remember that night and making that promise to my family. I'll never forget the look on my wife's face either when I didn't call her back, but I walked into the birthday party and she said, what are you doing here? I said, oh, good news, I quit. We had no savings. We had no money. We had nothing. So I started a construction company like the next day. I didn't really have a lot of experience, but I knew that I could leverage people, I could leverage concrete guys, I could leverage framers, I could leverage electricians, plumbers, etc. So I started to build a house, and I sold that house. Fast forward to my network marketing career. This was when I was like 21. I was starting my construction company, was doing good. I actually was able to become a self-made millionaire by the time I was 25 years old in the real estate and construction world. I had 30 plus employees. We was building 80 to 90 homes a year. I had it all ticking, I had it all going. In 2008, I actually got introduced. I didn't get introduced. I actually joined a network marketing company. My mom and dad actually did network marketing. And I always thought it was the craziest thing in the world. And it was a pyramid and I'll never touch it and yada, yada, yada. I grew up every Wednesday night with whiteboards sitting in my living room and my mom and dad's friends coming over and people drawing circles. But then something changed. I actually got introduced to the right people at the right time in 2008. And I joined my first network marketing company, which I'd never been involved before. I didn't know much about the industry, but within 3 months, I'd actually made it to the top 2 earners of that whole company. I was one of the first people to rank advance through that company. I actually was able to meet Josh Swagel, our CEO and founder there. That's where I met Dale Franklin, and Dale and I remember doing a meeting in Vermont. I met Dale right there at Phil's office. I still remember that from, what was that, Dale, 10, 11 years ago? It was a while ago.
Yeah, exactly.
And started working with people like that. But so that entrepreneur spirit that I guess I was blessed enough to be born with is what really got me into network marketing. And I'll never forget, the product they had was a fuel treatment. It was an automotive company. And I had a whole bunch of equipment. I had backhoes, I had skid loaders and trucks and everything. And fuel prices went over about $5 a gallon then. And my friend introduced me to that product. I started using it. It started saving me money. I gave it to all my foremans and my fleet managers. And they're like, yeah, this stuff works. So I got excited. I went back to my friend and said, hey, I want to buy the rights to this product for the Western United States. I didn't know it was a network marketing company. So then he spills it on me that it's a network marketing company. And I'm like, nope, I'm out. I'm not interested. He says, no, go get in the car. So I went and got in his car. He drove me 2 hours to Salt Lake City, Utah. I met the owners. I met the founders. I joined the company. And on my way home, I started calling my friends and family. I said, hey, you're never going to believe what I just found in Salt Lake. I need you to be at my house in 2 hours. And then I had them start calling people. And I'll never forget my first day in network marketing. I was about 5 minutes from my house and my wife called me and she said, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm headed home. She's like, well, how come there's over 100 people sitting in my house and they're waiting for you to show them something you found in Salt Lake? I'm like, there's 100 people. She's like, yeah, we're out of seats. There's nowhere to park and people are still pulling in. That was my first 2 hours in network marketing, but I understood the success loves speed. And I also understood how to get people excited to see something without telling them exactly what it was. And that night, we literally signed up 100% of the people. We got done at 3 in the morning. That company didn't have a website yet. Actually, Joel Thieler, who a lot of you know, he was one of the executives at that company. He was on the phone with me till 3 in the morning, taking verbal applications over the phone, plugging people into the system from the corporate office because they didn't have a website yet. So that's how I got from where I started to network marketing, Dale. That's as far as the story goes now.
Okay. Well, I love that story. I love the fact that you'd have been successful at whatever you did. But the thing is, that's the big thing of so many people in this type of business. You got to realize there's a couple of things he said. I hope you took from that. And this business is about a little bit about urgency and about excitement. To get people to get them excited initially, so they at least sit down and hear what we have to say, what we have for a business opportunity, whether it is pre-enrolling people and getting them to watch the 4 videos or getting them to come to our offices and listen to what we have to say at the office, or coming onto a call like this and learning a little bit more about the business. Okay. This is how you build your business, and you do it by keeping it exciting, keeping it not overly describing what it is. Leave a little bit of intrigue so people want to see what you're talking about, and getting people to just sit down and listen. We know that if you have people sit down and listen to this business, that we already know statistically what's going to happen. About 20% of them are going to become distributors, 40% are going to want to be customers, and the other 40% will say it's not for me. And I have a whole training on what you do with those 40 people there, so that they give you referrals so that you win on that case too. So again, it's all about building this business. And for people that are on this call from Tanzania that didn't even know this business existed 6 or 7 days ago, you have an opportunity like you cannot believe to build and change your financial future, not in the next 10 years, not in the next 5 years, not in the next 3 years. You can change your financial future in the next 30 to 90 days if you want to do it, And I don't know anything else that does that. And the other thing that he said, you saw that he's already successful. All right. Okay. So many people in this business are afraid to talk to people that are successful. He told you he was a self-made millionaire before he got in this business. I was a self-made millionaire before I got in this business. Okay. People that are successful, that are entrepreneurial in their lives, are always looking for the next thing. It's just, it's Chris said, it's in our DNA. We are always wanting to do something else, not necessarily sometimes for the money. It's just for the thrill of doing it, you know? So don't let people, I do this as much because I love to travel, meet people around the world as I do for the money. I'll be honest with you. So don't prejudge anybody. Be more than willing to talk to anybody and have faith. If you can at least get them to some place where they can sit down and see what we're doing, that you're going to get a good share of those people are going to want to be part of what you're doing. Okay. So it's just a matter of being an inviter. Invite. Okay. Next step on Chris, I want you and I were both in that network marketing company that sold the fuel additive, and we both did fairly well at it there. And then of course, at this point in time, kind of explain how Jay-Z left there, started his own company, how you joined with him, and tell us a little bit about the early years.
Yeah, so I do want to back up just real quick because you mentioned, use a self-made millionaire before network marketing. I was a self-made millionaire. But what I realized when I hit the top of that, and I hit that millionaire status, which whatever that means, I realized through my construction company, I was 25 years old. None of my friends made even $100,000 a year, probably not even $50,000 a year. So when I got to the top, I was alone. What I seen in network marketing was a vehicle that's a level playing field that everybody could come with me. Now, when I travel and go to events, I literally meet thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of my friends because of this industry. They're in this business and they've been able to win and come and succeed as well. So I don't have to go on cruises alone anymore. That's why I love network marketing, why my employees had to stay home and work because they couldn't afford to miss a day of work. So sorry, Dale, I wanted to hit that point.
Oh, I like that.
Back to what you asked me about the early days and Josh. So I remember, I believe it was the second official convention of that, maybe the third. And before Josh Swagel joined the company, every time there was a big promotion on stage for recognition, I was getting it. I was the last one on stage during recognition, and I got the biggest award. And I go off stage and they announced that somebody had just taken and hit this rank and they had become the #1 earner. And they announced that a guy named Josh Swagel from Baltimore, Maryland should come up and get his award and recognition. And I remember watching him walk up on that stage and I'm like, that punk is like 15 years old. I'm like, that's a young guy. He was 19 at the time. And I didn't know who he was. I hadn't even really heard about him. And I remember sitting down in that audience, and I knew one thing. I knew that you never wanted to be the smartest guy in the room because you'll never grow. And I'm like, okay, that guy's got something going on that I don't have. What is it? So as he was walking off stage, I met him down at the bottom of the stage. I said, hey, my name's Chris Robinson. And he was there by himself. Really, he wasn't married at the time. He had some of his team there, but he showed up and I asked him if we go to dinner. We went to dinner that night. And from that night forward, we literally worked together every single day in that business, even though we was cross-line. We weren't even in the same teams. I remember Josh flying to Seattle for me to do Super Saturday events for my team, and I was flying across for him. And then we ended up both being on the International Expansion Committee, and together we launched markets like Africa, Ghana was one, as well as Ukraine, the Philippines, Australia, Italy, all over Europe, Canada. So we ended up traveling a lot together and really building a brotherhood. And then one day they called a few of us into the corporate offices. They told us they was shifting gears in the company. And I'll never forget this meeting because Josh and I was sitting together on this side of the table. There's a few other leadership there. And I said, well, I don't know that I want to be a part of where you guys are headed. I think we should reevaluate this. I'll never forget, they said, well, if you don't like it, there's the door. And I looked at Josh and he nodded and I nodded back and we both stood up and walked out. not knowing what we were going to do. We didn't have aspirations of starting a company. So him and I actually spent a few months, maybe even 6 months, trying to find a home. We interviewed with hundreds of companies, from top leaders to CEOs to corporate executives, flew into some, was actually going to take a position together and start as an affiliate in another company. And about the time we decided which company it was going to be, I was excited about it. I'm like, yeah, this feels good. And we were actually supposed to meet with them. I think it was like a Thursday. And Josh called me Wednesday night. He was going to be flying in. And he called me and he said, hey, I'm not getting on the plane. I'm like, what do you mean? He says, I got a better idea. He said, I think we should start our own network marketing company. And I said, dude, you just went from the smartest friend I have to the dumbest friend I have with that one sentence. He's like, no, hear me out. He's like, we've interviewed hundreds of companies. We really can't find the perfect fit. He says, but with the experience that we have from working on corporate boards, international expansion boards, and complaining about everything that's wrong with this industry and the way this company's ran, he says, I have the fix. We're just going to build a company by affiliates for affiliates. And I said, I have no intention of ever being corporate in a network marketing company. That's not what I'm a field guy. I like to travel, I like to have my freedom. I don't want to be tied down. He said, okay, fine. He said, then I'll be the CEO and founder. Why don't you just take the first position? I said, okay. I said, what are we going to call it? He said, I don't know. I said, what products are you launching? He's like, I don't know, but they're going to be the best that's the industry's ever seen. I said, compensation plan. He's like, I don't know, but I'm going to figure out one that pays out more than any other company. And then he lays out this vision. And in that vision, from the very first day, I'll share this on this call because it's an Africa call, is when we were in Africa with our last company, we heard over and over and over again how often companies come, they're there for 2 months, they leave, they take money, they go, they disappear. Josh said, we're going to build a company, not just for us here in America and around the world, but I want Africa to be a huge part, because Africa got Josh his big boost in network marketing. He says, I want a company that Africa can be proud of that's going to be around forever. And so I said, okay, I'm down. Let's explore this more. He says, but the first thing you need to do is I need you to resign from the company that I was in, which means my paycheck's about to go away. Every dollar of it. I said, when? He's like, tomorrow. I'm like, are you serious? So that's what we did. And then he also told me, he said, when we do this, we're going to have integrity. We're not bashing, because look, still to this day and every day in between, this was 6.5, 7 years ago, I've maintained great friendships with everybody in that company. Dale's one of them. I mean, he's here now. The corporate staff. Actually, my ranch that I own, one of my partners on it is still the owner of that company. So we left with integrity. And it was very important to Josh and me that, hey, we're not going to go try to rip their company apart. We're going to start our own thing and see who it attracts. And that's exactly what we did. And I'll never forget, we did a launch call like October 28th, I think, a pre-launch call, and we told everybody what we're doing. It wasn't a Zoom, it was just a call. We're on the phone. I think there was a couple hundred people on it. Josh and Jenna was on it. I did some of the presentation on it. And we told everybody in a week we're going to turn the site on and go live. And then on November 6th, 2014, we flipped the switch to My Daily Choice. And it's grown into what it is today through not just Josh's leadership and all the hard work we put in, but through the awesome people we've been able to attract to this company that's made this company what it is. Because Josh and I and Jenna and the people on that very first call, there's no way we could have done it alone. We've had some awesome people. Some of them are a lot of you are on this call now, making this company what it is. So it's definitely been a huge team effort, and it continues to be that, even though we're almost a $200 million company now. We're just headed to $1 billion. So we're only getting started.
Oh, that talks about that part. I hoped in a couple more weeks to have Josh, the owner of the company, on one of these calls. And there's the thing that stuck with me, and you may not think the same way I do. But the thing that stuck with me is when our company that Chris and I started with, when we finally merged with My Daily Choice and became one sales force, so we'd have the sales team to build throughout the whole world. We 8 or 9 of us got invited to Las Vegas to to sit in as kind of a leadership board, and they wanted our blessing on what they were doing, which I thought was pretty great. But we were sitting at a dinner table one night talking, and I happened to be sitting next to Josh Swagel, and I jokingly said, you know, you're going to make so much money, you're going to have your own football team. And I'll never forget what he did. He turned around and looked at me. His head snapped around. He looked me right in the eye and he goes, I don't want a football team. I want an NBA basketball team. And he said it so seriously. He said it so matter-of-factly. He said it so firmly that I have no doubt that he'll do that. And I am one of the people who believe that this will be I believe this is eventually going to be the largest network marketing company in the world. I believe that this is going to be a multi-billion dollar company before we're done. And I also believe that because of what Josh and his wife Jenna are contemplating through their young children, through their family, that they plan on building this, and they're already looking forward 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years in the future. Okay. And that is not what happens with most network marketing companies, especially, as Chris said, in Africa. In Africa, it's get in, get out, take money with you, you know, and all that money you owed your distributors at the end of this month, well, guess what? They're never going to see it because we're gone. That's not something that's going to happen in our company. I've talked to so many Africans that talk about suitcase companies that come in and they work everything out of their suitcase and then they're gone. Well, the first thing we do almost in every country we go to is we get a country manager. We get everything legalized as far as making sure all the registrations are done. Everything is done. So everything you sell, you know, you're selling legally. We open an office, and not just any office, but a nice office with a room big enough so that you can invite teams of people and do your own trainings, and it's all free for you, right? I mean, I've been to several of the offices, the one in Kenya. I mean, you can easily sit 100 people in that room, and anybody, if they register for a time for their own private shows, they can do that. Or if you don't like doing that, you just bring your people to the shows that are being put on, the opportunity presentations that are being put on by whoever's the leader for that day or that time. So again, everything we do is to make this successful, especially for the African market. And as I said, I've been there 7 times in the last few years. I feel I know this market, and I know what we can do with this market, and we're just scratching the surface. Sorry, I get a little excited. I resell myself every time that I get on one of these calls. You know, I sign up the moment I got done if I was not already a distributor. So here we are. We've got a company that was growing with, and Chris, tell us a little bit about the years. I mean, you went from 2014 to 2017. Things were going along pretty good, and then you got a heck of a jolt of growth. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we launched with, I kind of feel like people joining My Daily Choice right now are spoiled because they're actually starting in the vision. We were starting the vision. So we started, and as you mentioned, a lot of network marketing companies fail. And I'm going to touch on that real quick because typically network marketing companies do their launch calls or their launch, whatever. They say, hey, this is our name, this is our logo, and we're a health and wellness company. Or this is our name, this is our logo, we're a skincare company. Or this is us and we're a travel company, or whatever it may be. We said, hey, this is us. We're starting with 3 nutritional spray products. All we had was Peak, Boost, and Shield. That was it, 3 products. And we said, but this is where we're starting. We will be an open-ended branded company so that we never find ourselves in some sort of identity crisis, that we can always capitalize on the next hot new trend. Now, I share that with you to share this with you. Fast forward from 2014 to 2017, we expanded our spray line with a few other products. We had a brain spray, and we had a couple of other things that we added into our spray line, and sleep spray. And then something happened. There was a new upcoming monster behemoth thing that was going to hit the consumer goods space, and it was called CBD. And because we had the vision and built our brand around we will capitalize on the big things as they come into the markets, we was able to launch HempWorks with no identity crisis. No identity crisis at all. Everybody was expecting us to bring more different things. So our vision from the start, if you will, was to create the Amazon of network marketing, where eventually you can go on our website and order anything you want that makes sense, that's hot and trendy in the network marketing space. So 2017, August, we introduced HempWorks, our brand, to the masses. We had tinctures is all we had. We had a 500 milligram tincture of natural and peppermint. No, just peppermint. Just peppermint. And we launched our 500 milligram tinctures. We started adding on to that. By the end of 2009 or 2017, we'd done $9 million in sales. That was 2007. 2018, we keep expanding on our product line. The company starts to explode. We hit around $110 million in sales. Then last year, closing out around the $180 million in sales as we added our Mantra Essential oil line to the product. And now if I want you to really look at what's going on, there's a shift going on in the world right now again, just like it did with CBD, of digital assets, cryptocurrencies, Forex tradings, different things. And now because we're a house of brands, Josh has put together the ultimate platform for that. And if you choose that's what you want to do, you can go do that. Here's what's awesome about the way we're structured. If the sprays is what you love and that's what's available in your market, you can have access to all of the brands and just purchase the sprays. You can sell every one of our brands and share every one of our brands and only ever have to be involved in one. I'm sure we can all agree that we all know people that might not be interested in crypto. We all know people that might not be interested in CBD. We all know people that might not be interested in travel. But what we can all agree on is everybody we know is interested in something we have, and you have the access to all of those things. I remember, Dale, in our first company, I would share the product with people and they're like, oh, cool, what am I supposed to do? I drive 10 miles a week. I ride the bus. We had a very limited market. With this company and these products, it is endless. I don't know what the next CBD is. It might be a year away. It might be 10 years away, whatever it is that comes down the pipe. As long as you're plugged in and building, we're going to have access to the best, highest and most effective product, whatever that may be. When the world announces that's what they want, we'll go into that space and we'll dominate it. Just like we did with CBD, just like we're doing with crypto. So, and our international expansion efforts, there's no other company in the world launching markets like we are. I guarantee you there's no company in network marketing that the last 2 weekends in a row during this pandemic launched a new market. 2 weekends ago, it was Uganda. Last weekend, it was Tanzania, and DRC's right on the cusp. There's no other companies doing that right now. They've all pulled in going, oh my hell, are we going to make it through this pandemic? We're growing. And you also got to understand that Josh, our CEO, just closed on a huge new 50,000 square foot corporate facility in Las Vegas, Nevada. He's building to $1 billion while everybody else is pulling the reins in, just trying not to suffocate during these times with all this uncertainty in the world. There's no better company out there right now than My Daily Choice. I don't say that because I'm biased. I am biased, but I don't say that because of those reasons. I say that because I have the knowledge in the industry to know what everybody else is doing, and they're not doing what we are.
You know, what you just said at the end there, I got to tell you a little quick story about myself. If people know me, know that one of the things I own is a tire store. And a few years back, during the recession, all my competition was cutting back on advertising. Everybody was trying to cut back. I went and borrowed money and added another 15,000 to my advertising and advertised like hell. And as these guys were pulling back, I was picking up market share from people, from companies all over the place. And when they finally tried to catch back up, it was too late. I already had their customers, and that's the same thing with what our company is doing.
You're going, yeah.
We're doing that right now. We are pushing forward while everybody else is retreating, and we will take market share. We will take great leaders from other companies. If you know people in other network marketing companies that are scared, are worried, I've heard stories about people that are now not getting paid that from companies that would shock you. Other companies that are starting to close their doors in certain countries. If you know that type of situation, you reach out to those people. They are, I guarantee you, they're looking for a new home. And why not under you? Why not part of your team? Okay. And the beauty of it is, if you find those people and you're too intimidated to talk to them, all you got to do is get them on the phone with me, Chris, Josh, whoever you want to get on the phone with, and let us talk to them, and we will close them for you. So what do you got to lose other than setting up an appointment? And I'll guarantee you, some of these people are looking for you while you're looking for them. You know, so again, we have an incredible opportunity here, and I just hope that you see what we see. You know, the fact that you are best friends with the owner of this company has obviously helped us, because we you know, when we get a little bit of focus that maybe some other companies or other teams might not get. I certainly think that helps us. And the fact that, you know, not only is Chris and Josh best friends, Josh has been, I mean, Josh was here in Vermont for 30 days at one time. I loaned him one of my vehicles for a month to drive around because he was too young to rent one at that point in time. And he's been to my home for dinner. I mean, these are, when you're dealing with people who have know you so well that they sat down and had dinner and enjoyed time together. I mean, that's the kind of relationships we're building. That's the kind of relationships that I have when I go to Africa, and we sit around as a group, and we you know, you can't fake sincerity. I mean, I've always believed you can't fake sincerity, and you can tell whether or not we want to help you sincerely or we're just trying to get your money. Well, you know, when you're in a financial situation like Chris and me and many of the guys in this company are, it gets to a point where it's no longer about what we need. It's about giving back. I mean, we are so fortunate to have the life we have. You know, I tell the story. I said, I've been married to the same woman for 41 years. I have 4 adult children that are all healthy and doing very well. I got a 5-year-old grandson that I adore. You know, I've had businesses that have done better than my wildest dreams. You know, I've been a very fortunate person in my life, and a lot of us in this business have been. And so it becomes very important for us to give back, to thank the fate for what we got. And I think Chris would kind of acknowledge that he's probably the same way. We take joy in watching our team succeed. And the only time, to be honest with you, the only time I ever think about how much volume I got for the month is the last week of the month. And the only reason I do that is because I'm competitive. If I'm competing against somebody else in another team who's going to make a new rank, and I think I can beat him to it, it's all good fun. I want to compete. I want to be able to beat him out, you know, just so I can call him up and say, I just beat you. You know, that's what it's about. It's no longer about to me, at least, about the money. It's about helping other people and having fun doing it. So, having said all that, I do want to leave a little time in case anybody does want to ask a question. Chris, do you have anything you'd like to say to close your part out?
Yeah, I do want to touch on one thing, and you already did, but I'm going to reiterate what you said. November has more promos than this company's ever had, and I believe we're not going to see it again. So Dale went through the 10X challenge. He went through the rank up challenge. Then he went through the Vegas retreat promo. There's never been a better time than to take massive, massive action than right now. Not only are you going to make $5,000 to $10,000 if you do all these promos in November, but you're also going to start that qualification ticker so that you can have an all expense paid trip to the US, to Las Vegas, to not only get trained and mentored by the best in this industry and the best this company has to offer, you're going to get the first look at our new brand. You're going to get the first tour of our brand new corporate office building that Josh just purchased, that the build out started on right now. You're going to get to meet Josh, Jenna, Dale, myself, Alton Patterson, Phil Reynolds. So many other awesome leaders from all over the world are going to be there. And if you really want to jumpstart your business, November's the month. It's November to remember. There's so many promos out there right now to help everybody win. And even if you fall a little bit short and you still make $1,000 or a couple $1,000 for the holidays, it's still well worth it. Let me ask you this. If this isn't it, then what is? What other options do you have? Have you been on another Zoom call in the last 2 days that offered you something better than what we're talking about today? It's not out there. So trust in the process. Make that decision. No, you don't have to have all the information, all the facts, all the knowledge. You can earn while you learn. That's the whole point of network marketing. And that's why I love it. Because our job, I think about this. I challenge you all to go to work tomorrow, if you have a job or you're fortunate enough to still be able to go to work, and ask your manager, ask your supervisor, your CEO to sit down with you and train you and teach you every skill set you need to take their job. See if they'll do it. It's not going to happen. That's why network marketing is so great. That's exactly what we do. We teach you to do exactly what we've done. Do is trust in the process, make a choice. It all starts with a decision to take massive action right now today. Start hitting those promos, start building your legacy. I don't care if you've been here for a year or you're looking at this for the very first time. You're right on time. But you got to start today. It's got to happen today because November's half over already, and you got to take massive action. And that's the message I want to leave with you today before we do question answer. But just know we got you. I've never had a person reach out to me and want help to build this business that did not get it ever. It may take a day or two because we do have a ton of people, but they always get it. So just know that we look forward to your success more than you do. I know Dale's the same way. And we'll do everything for you. I mean, yeah, I probably have enough money to give everybody on this call enough every month that they never have to work again. But that doesn't help the masses. What helps the masses is teaching them the skill sets that's required to get these results. And that's exactly what we're doing today. And that's what we'll continue to do till the day we're done, because that's the whole point, like Dale said, is to help everybody else get the results that we've got. So Dale, I'll back over to you, buddy.
Okay. It's amazing how, I've had these interviews, and so often I'll be sitting there going, okay, the next thing I'm going to talk about is something, and the person that I'm interviewing hits that right on the head before I even get there. So it's been amazing how attuned we are. As you just said, if you're working for a corporation of any kind, there's no way in heck that any manager is ever going to, if you come on and you're the smartest guy he's ever seen in the industry, and you're young, you're energetic, and you're incredibly intelligent, and he sees that all in you, when his boss rolls around, he's going to have you go to the bathroom. He's going to have you go get lunch. He's not going to want his boss to see you, okay, because he doesn't want to risk his job. And network marketing is the absolute opposite of that. If I have somebody on my team who succeeds beyond what I can ever do, I'm smiling because I'm going to make money, and I know a lot of my team are going to make money because of that person's success. So that's totally different from anything that you would find in normal businesses. So as Eric Worre says, we have found a better way, and I fully believe that. Okay, so
Dale,
yeah,
I'm gonna make you be quiet for a minute.
Go for it.
It's my job usually.
Absolutely.
I've got several people who have just met me this week that are on this team that actually specifically wanted to hear my voice to know I was real. So hi. But the thing is, I did what you guys just talked about. I have done work for Dale for close to 10 years now in his other business and helping him promote his network marketing. And my thing, what I teach, I also teach college, and what I teach is online marketing and social media marketing. And so when Dale made the jump with his company to My Daily Choice, that's when I became an affiliate, because everything that he had been paying me to do on the side was now given for free as part of My Daily Choice. It's like everything that network marketers from every company out there had been coming to me for years going, how can I do this better? And they were so restricted, they couldn't afford me. And Dale made a jump that most didn't, and he did pay me to do some of this stuff. But now I took one look at what they were proposing in a marketing system that you get for free just for being an affiliate. And said, this is everything people have been paying me a great deal of money to recreate over and over and over. So you can absolutely run your business from your phone. And in this day and age, when we're not supposed to be sitting within 6 feet of each other, what more can you ask? And you've got really, really reliable products that you'll all love. You see, I've all the way through this, I've been flashing, my brain spray and my boost spray that I keep on my desk. You can't beat this. So I hope some of my new folks from Tanzania will go off mute now and ask some questions, or at least say hello. It'd be nice to hear your voices.
Yes, absolutely. Somebody'd like to ask a question, you can either type it in, or you can unmute yourself and ask the question.
Don't be shy. Come on and talk to us.
Possibly, if nobody has a question, Elizabeth, would you take a second? You've been in this business for quite a while with this. Unmute yourself and just give us a little idea of how this has worked for you. Elizabeth, are you there? No, maybe she can't.
She typed in the chat like she might have been signing off, but
Oh, could
she's
be.
still here, but there, now she's going off mute.
Okay, there we go. Elizabeth, are you there?
Can I ask a question, please?
Sure.
Yes, my name is Rose Maeda from Tanzania.
Hi, Rosemary.
Rose Maeda.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I was at the meeting on Saturday. It was a great presentation, but the time was too short. We didn't understand everything in deep. But as we go along, I believe we'll get to understand it more clearly. My question is on Forex. Okay, you said that it's one of your products in Forex, but I'm not yet clear. How does that work? Once you pay the $350, then what happens? How do you get to do business in the Forex? Thank you.
Chris, you want to answer that?
Yeah, I'll tackle it. Well, for starters, the Forex or CashX program is not available in all markets, as we have to register things as our markets grow. So I don't believe it's available in Tanzania or Uganda as we launch those markets. But the way the Forex works is it's an educational platform. So if you know nothing about Forex, that's exactly why we have this. It's hot in the industry. Crypto's hot right now. So you can actually have access to learning academies from beginning to expert. You actually have, for those of you that understand crypto, you're actually going to have 8 different fiat wallets. You're going to have access to transfer your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, whatever crypto you have back and forth. But more importantly, as far as the Forex part goes, you're going to be added to Telegram chats that give you signals to trade and when to trade. And if you don't know how, don't worry. The Academy will do that for you. And that's the whole point. I knew nothing about Forex a month ago when they rolled it out. I bought the educational platform. I watched the videos. I tuned the weekly webinars that they're doing as for members of the platform. And then you take that knowledge and you can go out into the Forex world on our platform or any other platform and go earn money trading Forex on a daily basis. So there's a huge, huge potential in the Forex market, but we know that it's not new. It's been around forever. $5 trillion a day are traded in Forex, but 99.9% of the population don't understand it. So what we did is we launched this educational platform to help you understand it, to plug you into the right things, to help you out with signals. We actually have a social trading platform that's available in a lot of our markets and more coming, where if you don't understand what you're doing, you can click to follow a guy that does, and your trades will happen with his, and you'll earn money just following the right people doing what they're doing. So I don't know if that answered all of your questions on the Forex, but the reason why they probably didn't go into it in great detail at that event you was at is because it's not in that market yet.
Yeah. it is in Kenya, I believe. And so because it's in Kenya, hopefully that means eventually the East African market will all get it, but it's not there
Yeah,
yet.
all those markets are getting, and what we do is we launch the hottest products we have at that time for those markets. And because to register all 100 plus of our products in any market would literally take years, and it would stop us from being able to launch markets as fast as we do. So we register our sprays and the products that really have the meat and potatoes of our company, and then we throw all the extra gravy on, if you will, as the market builds. So that's the rundown on the Cachex in your market.
Thanks for asking the question, Rose.
Yes, absolutely. Great question.
Elizabeth, just checking to see if you are there, if you wanted to say anything. I guess she must not have good connection. Anybody else? Any questions? Feel free. There's no such thing as a bad question. Well, if not, I try to keep these to about an hour, or just a little bit over that now. Actually, from when we started, we're almost exactly on an hour. So again, I hope the last thing I'll leave you with, this is a business that can change your lives, not just for yourself, but for your children and your grandchildren not yet unborn. It's to me, if I had to do it all over again, I would do exactly what I'm doing right here, because I believe in this strongly. And I hope you all take this seriously. If you have other questions, feel free to go to the office in your country. A lot of you from Tanzania are here. Go to the new office in Dar es Salaam. Get your questions answered. Reach out to Cyrus. Cyrus, I know, is a great. He'll either get back to you, or he'll refer you to somebody who can get back to you. But we are all here. All the leaders are here to help you succeed, to help you prosper, and we sincerely care for your success. So having said that, remember we'll have another meeting here in next Monday. Oh, and the last thing is we are having a Super Saturday this coming Saturday that'll be for all our markets. And we'll be sending out the poster will be going out probably, I would say, tomorrow. That's one of my uplines is doing that, Lennon. So we'll have our Super Saturday that's coming, which is usually about an hour and a half long, and you get some training from 4 or 5 of us. And people, we did it last month, and people really enjoyed it. Thought it was really good. So that's what we have coming forward. We have trainings on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. There's African trainings. There's so many ways for you guys to build your business and have the support you need. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. But I hope you all take this as a very serious business. Join our family, and we look forward to helping you succeed over the next few months and years. Okay. Having said all that,
See your faces.
yes. Well, some of them can't because of the connectivity, but
Yeah, it's great to see them and see them here and hear some voices.
all right. You all have a great week. We'll be talking to you, I'm sure, on WhatsApp or whatever. So have a great week. Chris, thank you for coming on. Appreciate all the help. And I look forward to seeing you all soon. Have a great day.